As you're probably guessing now, CSS is a really important part of web design. And that's why Dreamweaver has all kinds of different tools and different ways of adding and using CSS in your own websites. That said, it's also probably the most challenging aspect of basic web design. And so if you're having troubles with it, a lot of things are unclear. Again, I just want to encourage you to say you're not the only one, and just to give yourself some time and to actually practice when you see an opportunity. So, for instance, you see we've built this basic left aligned page here with CSS. If you haven't already, I really encourage you to pause the video and to try and build this yourself. It's really important that you get in some practical experience along the way because I can tell you from my own experience and from teaching thousands of people, if not tens of thousands over the years, that it's practical experience is at least 10 times more important than academic experience. So what do I mean by that? Essentially, 1 hour of actually web designing, building pages with Dreamweaver is, in terms of learning, is worth 10 hours of reading books or 10 hours of watching videos, even my videos. Again, when you see an opportunity to pause a video and try out one of the things that I've just demonstrated in front of you. What we're going to do here is take a closer look at some of the Dreamweaver tools, well, Dreamweaver CSS tools, and we're also going to actually take a better look at the logic and the structure behind this left dash align page that we built using the Dreamweaver tools. You recalled we used the layout abilities here where we were able to drag our divs. And we're also going to look at another way of building a similar type of layout. Well, it's actually a little bit different, but something called the center aligned.html page that I built. And we're going to take a look at the differences. Again, the idea here is for you to understand some of the basic mechanics behind the scenes so that when you actually get to using the templates in your own web design work, you'll be able to tweak them. But you knew that already. All right, enough of the nerd theory. Let's just jump into it. Let's select the div here, and I did so by selecting the square here, right? And if you haven't opened up your CSS panel, open it up and select all. And I've selected the main content. We'll just select that, main content. So you see the properties, the CSS properties of this particular div. We know background color is obvious, the height and the width, that's pretty obvious, height, width, right? Let's look at one thing here. You see left 210? What that means is that this div is 210 pixels, 210 px, right, from the left edge of the browser window. So if we preview that here, this, what was it again? This is main content, excuse me. So this one here, this div here, from this point right here at the edge, right here, to here, right at the edge of the browser window, that's 210 pixels. So that's what that code does. It pushes this over 210. Now, if we look at the top attribute, an attribute is, again, attributes like, you know, your hair color is an attribute, your eye color is an attribute. This is, so when I'm talking about attributes here, I'm talking about CSS attributes associated with this main content ID, right? Anyway, doesn't sink in. I'm sure it will come to you soon enough. So the top attribute has to do with this div being 9 pixels from the top of the page. So here's the top of the page, 9 pixels down. And that's what that is talking about.